Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful Thursday morning here in Austin, Texas. This is day 1408 of the 3+ Minutes of Plank Challenge. And as always, I am filled with gratitude. Thoughts on my mind this morning. I try not to talk about this as much, but there's every once in a while, there's something that I struggle with. And a lot of times it's the dynamic of my relationships with me and my ex-wife. Truthfully, at one point, she would say that we were each other's best friends. And as the relationship fell apart, we lost that friendship. There were a lot of things that happened in our separation and our divorce that really threw me off. This is a person that I trusted with all of my heart. And I saw a lot of things that happened when our love wasn't in love anymore. A lot of things that I would have never guessed that she'd done. And I still struggle with it at times. It's something that God has spoken to me. He says, is to trust someone else, you must most first and ultimately trust yourself. So I worked on that a lot. And so one of the things that came up recently was we are having our daughter's passport renewed. And it's one of those things that you can't do it unless both parents agree to it. I would have wanted to go in together and do it, but my ex has this way of avoiding me as much as she can. And so she ended up sending me a consent form to fill out and get notarized. I felt a way about it, but I just put it in God's hand and I let it go. And there's a part of me that still has this distrust. But I went in yesterday. I went to the UPS store. I had to drop off some stuff that I had to return and then to go get it notarized. And like, even though I felt a way about it, I said, let me just get it done, get out of my head. When I got to the UPS store, the notarizer wasn't there. Apparently Wednesday is the day that they don't have him or her in. So I ended up going to the bank next door, which they normally don't do that. They normally don't, if you're not a customer of the bank, they won't do the notarization. But I met a gentleman by the name of Gary who said, man, I'll do it for you. You've got a great energy about you. You just seem to have a great heart. And so he did it for me for free, which I was supremely grateful for. And as I was standing in that bank, I saw a gentleman across the way who had a shirt on. I think he said the Agape Community Center. And I saw that. And I saw God speaking to me in that moment. And agape love means a unconditional love. That you don't need a reciprocation, you're just loving. That's how God and Jesus loves us. And it was that reminder in that moment that no matter what you're feeling about somebody else, no matter what they do to you, no matter how they treat you, just do it from an unconditional love. And it allowed me to ease my mind in that moment and say, it's not about me. Get out of your ego. It's about your daughter first and foremost, and your ex-wife. Just lead with love. When everything else fails, instead of reciprocating hurt with hurt, just lead with love. And that was the lesson for me yesterday. Anyway, that's my thoughts for today. As always, be blessed today and every day. Thank you for listening. Peace.